And we're on to Myst 3 Exile.
I realized as our group linked back to Dunny that we should not restore the city as we had planned. The once magnificent buildings lay in ruin, a testament to the hatred that had consumed them. Too many people had fallen victim to that hate, to the prejudice and greed from which it sprang. Gazing out across the cavern, I decided to write another age, one that would help the Dunny survivors begin again, free from the tragedies of their past. So with my wife, Catherine, supporting me, I put aside that past to write a future. More than a year has gone by since I finished writing Relishon. I have a new daughter, who I hope will someday link to that age with me. And as I imagine Yisha meeting the Dunny, those brave men and women who are building a new life for themselves, I realize I've been given another chance as well. A chance to learn from my mistakes and leave the past behind me once and for all.
Okay.
Breathtaking,
Oh.
isn't it? We call it Tamana. We moved here after Atreus finished writing Relishon. He wanted us to have a new home too. I'm so glad to see you. I told Atreus our paths would cross again. He was just going to grab something for your trip to Relishon, so he shouldn't be terribly long. Unless he decides to check over the whole house first, which means he could be hours resetting all his padlocks. But I know he was looking forward to introducing you to the Dunny, so he shouldn't be terribly long. Why don't you wait in his study?
Ah, that's different. Yeah, now we have 3D movement. Well, 3D looking, I should say.
You know, this trip is exactly what Atreus needs right now. I haven't been able to get him out of the house for months, ever since he found his journals out of place. But seeing how well the Dunny have settled in on Relishon should help him to finally relax.
You can still her dialogue.
I'm sorry, the other door.
So I guess we are another... We're not the guy from the other two Mysts. We're somebody else. Whenever we found our way back. Huh. Let's say that's the brothers from, or that's, oh yeah, it is the brothers from the first game, I think. But just in case. Oh. It's safe because I'm gonna touch this thing. See what happens. Nothing. Okay. Thought that'd be like a trap. Let's see, something to read there. Ah, so we're Tamon. Tamon, thank you for responding so quickly to my request for Nara padlocks. As you know, security in Tamana has become an important issue of late. Perhaps I am overreacting, as Catherine suggests, but the idea that someone may have been sneaking into my study, reading all of my journals, disturbs me. After what happened to my library on Myst, after my own sons, Cirrus and Akinar, destroyed so many of my books, I've come to realize how delicate the link is to my worlds. I've never been able to repair those burned books. To link to each age and find out if the inhabitants survived. The padlocks won't change that situation, but they should ease my fear of trespassers considerably. Sincerely, Atris. Ah, okay, so we know who you are now. Or at least now we have slightly better look around. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, that's where we're going. Really, Sean.
Well, my friend, I see you found the Relishan book. Catherine tells me you've been here for some time. I'm sorry if I've kept you waiting. Since we'll be gone a few days, I needed to secure some of my things. And I also wanted to bring you this. It's a journal I kept while I was writing Relishan. I thought you might find it interesting to read about what I'd hoped to achieve, compared to what the age truly is. Well, just let me get my keys to unlock Relishan, and we'll be off. Oh, and I'm interested in hearing what you've been up to in recent months. No! No! Relishan!
Okay then. Well, off we go. Can't really do anything. Didn't give me the option to turn around or anything. I'd say run after him first. Go back later. Ah. Let me guess, it's a circular room, yes. Well, okay then. Well, dang, and we gotta find a way in there. It's not through the front door. Oh, we have this thing. Yeah, it turns. Hmm. Yeah, we'll get to that later, I guess. Okay. Oh. Ladder down. Sure, why not? Okay, we can't go that way yet. I mean, it is somewhat nicer to have 3D look now. You don't have 3D movement, though. That comes in the very recent games. Oh wow, you can go over here? Oh. Oh, what's up here? Oh. Alright. So these things have different, colors on top of them. Color gems. Can I go that way? I cannot. Okay, so that's just another thing. Hmm. It's down there. What's that? Oh, light. And go lower. I think that might be connected. Let's see. Ah, okay, we can enter here. Pull this. Oh. Okay. That. Oh. Good to know. Just the other entrance? Yes. Okay. Shrooms? Does it do anything? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Eggs. Book in bed. There's an elevator. Perhaps we should do that first. Someone's picture. Fly? Maybe inside that thing? What does this do? Power? Yes. Weighing things. Hammer. That's the elevator, so let's save. Yeah, okay, let's save there. Oh. Okay, weighing elements. There we go. The entrance is over here. Open? Yes. Hopefully this goes up. Okay, interesting mechanism, I guess. Oh, this should lead us to that room, yes? Yep.
Atris? Is that you? Come to rescue your book so soon? Not yet, old friend. Not yet.
Okay, so I take it that's our way into the room? Oh. Well, that's lame. 'Cause there's no cutout in the wall or anything elsewhere. So... that thing went down, and then did a thing. I don't know. Well, anyway, what does this do? Ooh, reading. I have done it. I have used his swirling licking book to follow him. I touched my palm to its glowing panel and felt the tingling begin. There was a sudden sickening lurch inside my stomach, then I fell into the page. This has happened before. I know it. It happened the first time I came to this place, when I followed his murdering sons from Narayan. It happened when I used his hidden books, and it happened when I finally opened the... Oop. Options? How do I... Oh. I unlock the, cursor. Open the... machine. Right before the fog first ate my mind. The fog didn't find me this time. When I opened my eyes, I was alone in a room. I was standing in the home of my betrayers. I couldn't move. I was afraid. I thought they'd know that I had come and would be waiting for me, just like they had waited inside this very tusk. I was afraid they would tie me up again, that the poison snakes would strike, but the silence was unbroken. The whole house was still, and without really knowing what I did, I started to search. Every room, every floor, every cabinet. I found his journals. Atrus's never-ending journals. I found the book that brought me back to this world. The lesson world he calls Janamin. Oh, Tanira, my love, how long have I been trapped here? How much of my life has been eaten by the fog? The face I see in the lagoon isn't one I remember ever wearing. It's so much older, so much more savage. But it is me. It is Saavedro, and I remember what they did, how they led my people to death. I have returned several times now to Tamana. I am searching for some sign of his sons. I was certain they would run back to their father, but so much time has passed. So many years in which to forget about my people. Is that what happened, Atrus? Safe in your beautiful new home, enjoying life with your dear wife and family. Did you become so busy envisioning new worlds that you forgot the ones you'd already created? I must be very careful. I must not let them know that I am free. I will read what journals I can find to figure out where his two sons are hiding, and when I have found the sons again, when I have gotten the whole family together, I'll bring them down. Atrus and his family will suffer, the way I have suffered for years. Ceres and Aknar are not in Tamana. Every day I become more and more convinced. Atrus's sons are not there. What happened, Atrus? Did you grow tired of them, the way you tired of Narayan? Did you abandon them, the way you abandoned my people behind your shield? It does not matter. I can still take a revenge against their father. Now that I am no longer stuck in Janamim, I can avenge all the dead in my world. I have already reopened his other books. I have begun making changes in those worlds using his own lessons against him. There is still much more work to be done, but eventually I will lure him into this tusk. I will find some way to make him follow me here from Tamana. For now, I will concentrate on the orbiter. It is not a natural part of its world. The material that creates it is like nothing I've seen. It reminds me just a little of the shield. And if it is the same material, it can't be damaged. but perhaps I can damage the other devices. And then something with that. A gear? Something blocking a gear. Okay. No, it cannot be true. Surely his journals deceive me. He says he's brought them back. He says he's given his Denis brethren new life. But how? How can one man have so much power? How can one man's writings reawaken a dead world? I don't know what this means. By all that is sacred, Tamra, what can it mean? It doesn't change a thing. I can still continue as I planned. I can still seek revenge for my people. I will make my enemies suffer. By the weaving Tamra, this changes everything. I have found a way to reprogram his scanning device. It requires scavenging parts from another mechanism in the tusk, but I think the gears I leave can still be operated by hand. Okay, gears. That's a hint. It is finished. All is ready for Atrus's arrival. Tonight I will sleep among the ghosts. Then tomorrow I will link into Tamana. When I link out, I will be carrying his book. May the spirits of my people serve to guide me in this. That's it. That's it. Okay, well, since we're here, might as well read the other book. 93-525. I always feared this day would come. For years, Catherine and I have dreamed of restoring Denis. We have dedicated our lives to the task, taking it upon ourselves to locate the citizens of Denis and convince them to return to their ruined city and rebuild. Our dream has become the dream of so many now, and the progress we have made toward achieving it is something of which we all can stand proud. But I know that it has been a mistake. The city of Denis should not be restored. It should stand forever in ruins, is both a symbol of our past mistakes and a memorial to all who lost their lives when Denis fell. The devastating events of recent months, the war on Tyranny and the death of Uta in particular, have driven this truth home to me quite forcefully. If we rebuild the city walls today, are we not giving approval to the very illness that destroyed our civilization in the first place? Are we not setting ourselves up to repeat that pattern again in future generations? I have put much thought into this tonight and have found only one solution. If we, the men and women who survived the downfall of Denis, are to thrive, then we must break the pattern of hatred which has destroyed so many lives. We must begin our civilization anew, and we can only do that if I write us a new age. I have spoken with Catherine about this, and she agrees. I only hope the others will see it as well. 93-526. Will these people never cease to amaze me? I thought they would object to my decision. After all, most of them linked back to Denis specifically to see the city rebuilt. But when I told them why we should not restore it, their response was immediate and unanimous. Whereas yesterday they thought only of rebuilding, today they concentrate solely on salvage. They intend to take from their ruined city only that which is best and move on. Everywhere I look, the enthusiasm for this new task is obvious. It heartens me even as I face my own monumental contribution. I have written many ages in my lifetime from my first timid attempts under the tyrannical tutelage of my father to the most recent accomplishment. Everone. Never before has so much been riding on my skill. The age I am about to write must be all I ever imagined and more. How am I going to achieve it? 93-6-1. Catherine laughed this morning when she saw me dredging out my old notebooks. I must have made quite the picture, sitting near the embers of a fire surrounded by countless commentaries and journals. Some of them seemed more dust than paper, but the hours I spent sifting through them was worth it. Ideas for what this age might be are tumbling around in my head. There are almost too many to catch hold of. Obviously, I must choose some starting point as my anchor. Writing ages is a science, a precisely structured equation of words. Every equation needs as its foundation an underlying concept around which the age can develop. In the past, I have written my books around whatever idea intrigued me most at the time. I wanted to discover how the age to which the book linked world manifested the results of that idea. Sometimes civilizations had arisen. Sometimes they had not. But whether a society had come to exist on the age or not, it was often in response to whatever concept the book I had written embodied. This time, my search for a concept must be weighed very carefully. I already have the civilization I wish to see develop. I know our history as a people and the paths we have followed to arrive here. Today, I must write a book which will link to an age that will allow us to continue on our way, growing ever stronger as one people. What underlying concept must this new age reflect that will best allow our civilization to thrive? I fear I must think on this some more. 9365. It has taken some time, but I may have found my anchor. It came to me as I was considering what I know about the survivors of Denis. We have seen so much tragedy in our lives, from the destruction of the city to the suffering and loss of loved ones due to plague and deprivation. Yet even in the midst of these adversities, my kinsmen and I have found the strength to keep going. We have tapped into our individual strengths and transformed ourselves into something much stronger. It is a characteristic I have seen in several of my ages whenever I focused my writing on the inherent energy sources in a world. Long ago, grandmother taught me that no possibility for life in an age exists without the presence of energy. By tapping into its latent energy sources, an age moves out of stasis. It grows, transforms, and develops. Energy is the underlying fuel that powers all activity. To put it more simply, energy powers future motion. Yet, as grandmother also liked to remind me, energy in an age takes on diverse forms. Each one has strengths and weaknesses of its own. How many forms will this new age contain? Which type will be its dominant theme? Tomorrow I will link back to Myst, and from there revisit several of my ages. Perhaps in my old worlds I will discover new ideas. 9366. I had almost forgotten how painful it is to revisit Myst. In the 10 years since my sons Cirrus and Akanar left me trapped on Kavir Island and burned so many of my books, Catherine and I have rarely linked back. I told myself we were always too busy. First with writing ages like Everone, then with searching the ages of Denis for survivors. I always said we would spend more time on Myst eventually. The truth is, I have been avoiding the age. Seeing the island in its current condition ignites such anger and grief. I am immediately reminded of the betrayal of my sons, as well as the cruelty and greed with which they plundered my ages. I know I am partly responsible for these acts. I constantly wonder if there were something I could have done to reach out to the boys before. Enough. Nothing can change the tragedies of the past. Like my Denis kinsmen, I must salvage what is best and move on. Perhaps in the process I will find forgiveness and hope. 93-10-17. Once again, I am back on Myst Island, having completed a lengthy sojourn through several of my ages. The trip itself was not as inspiring as I had hoped. The Selentic age was especially disturbing, but has it not always been so? The very first time I linked to the age, its uninhabited landscape was shaking with tremors. At the time, I felt it was because the energy in the age was unfocused, as if it were at war with itself. Stability finally came, but even after it did, I never truly felt comfortable there. I missed the more natural balance of ages like Channelwood. Perhaps that is the lesson to take home with me. The Denis, too, have faced much turmoil in their history. Their lives have been unsettled enough. Perhaps I should be striving to offset the energy that already exists within our civilization by providing it with a more stabilized environment in which to grow. An environment in which the natural equilibrium of the world serves as a counterpoint to the upheavals of civilization. The more I consider it, the more I wonder if I should make nature the foundation of this new age. Worlds like Channelwood attain equilibrium quite easily, primarily because of one reason. Nature encourages mutual dependence. As one life withers and dies, it provides nourishment so that another might live. Plants become food for other animals, and the waste products animals cannot absorb become nutrients to sustain the other plants. So long as nothing intrudes to upset this balance, nature can maintain itself indefinitely. An interesting metaphor to set as an example for my people. I think I will confer with Catherine on this subject. Her ages always exhibit symbiosis more dramatically than mine. Perhaps she should help me write this new age. 93-10-24. I am so tired, I can barely think right now. But I will force myself to stay focused, for I have not written anything in days. The moment I linked back to Denis, I was besieged with requests for my assistance. Esther Tamon wanted to consult over which stonecutters were worth salvaging, and did I think the rock in this new age would be difficult to sound. Oma and Exile needed my opinion about a new history they had uncovered. Should they hold off on starting its translation, or would paper supplies be scarce in the new age? There were so many questions needing answers. I barely had time to see Catherine. She, of course, laughed at my dilemma, saying that I had no one to blame but myself. After all, I was the one who encouraged the Denis to start over. Naturally, they would look to me to keep them moving in the right direction, unless some other force stepped in to change that view. Her words made me realize a fundamental principle I had thus far been ignoring. All this time I have been debating whether to make energy or nature the underlying framework for this age. But there is another equation to consider. An age based solely on the future motion of energy will face constant upheavals, most likely at the cost of tranquility. And an age based solely on the mutual dependence of nature can become so balanced over time it may cease to tolerate change. Yet to continue to grow as a people, Denis civilization needs both. Occasional upheavals followed by periods of balanced stability. I have seen such situations occur naturally on several of my ages. Each time it was because I centered the writing around some dynamic force that I had decided to make prevalent in the age. Such forces allow the balance between forward motion and mutual dependence to fluctuate. As one concept takes precedence, the other recedes until another force surfaces to change things. As Catherine's insightful comment reminded me, dynamic forces spur change. I am too tired to think more on this tonight. Hopefully in the morning my thoughts will coalesce. 93-10-25. Catherine surprised me today. Apparently while I was off visiting my ages, she linked to Myst by herself. She did not say so, but I could tell that her visit had been painful. More than ever now, I am convinced we must find a place to begin again ourselves. Perhaps when I have written this new age for the Denis, I will put some thought into where Catherine and I might live. 93-10-28. I cannot believe I did not see it before. All this time, I have been struggling to describe the perfect age for the Denis. I have considered and then rejected several underlying concepts which I felt might best set the course for their future, as if I alone should determine how Denis civilization will grow. In my own way, I have become as egotistical as my father. In truth, I owe this realization to Catherine. Sensing my indecision about the new age, she led me on a walk around Denis. Salvaging efforts were well underway, with teams of people scouring the ruined harbor district. As I watched my Denis kinsmen deciding which parts of their culture to retain, I realized they do not need me to determine their future. They are quite capable of setting its course by themselves, regardless of what age I write. This realization has opened my eyes to the best way of approaching my task. I no longer need to worry about which underlying concept energy, nature, or dynamic forces I should make prevalent in the age. Rather, I must strive to include them all. I must write a balance of systems into the descriptive book enough so that the Denis people will constantly be challenged to attain their ultimate potential. As grandmother often pointed out to me when we spoke about ages back on Myst, balanced systems stimulate civilizations. At last, I feel I am ready to begin writing this age. Indeed, I am eager to begin, and have already come up with the perfect name. I know grandmother would have loved it. Of course, Catherine could tell the moment I turned to her that I had finally found my starting point. I babbled on excitedly for some time before I noticed the smile she was hiding. When I saw it enough to grow suspicious, she handed me one of my oldest age books. She must have picked it up when she linked back to Myst, seeing the name Jnanin emblazoned on the book cover. I could only shake my head. The one age I never got around to revisiting was the one that might have helped me the most. How foolish was I to have completely forgotten it. I think after I have finished this work, I should take one final trip, if only to help restore an old fool's memories. Ah. And that's it. Okay. Ah, minus. Okay.